Hi there and welcome to SharqiDance. My name is Yame and twice a month, usually on Thursdays, I am here on this channel breaking down basic belly dance movements to help you get started on your belly dance journey or to help you practice between classes. Today, we're going to be working on reverse undulations, so let's just get right on up and get started. Starting with that basic posture, feet about hip width apart, knees soft, pelvis in a neutral position, hips stacked underneath the ribs, head stacked over the shoulders, chest open and shoulders and ribs relaxed down. We're going to start with our pelvic tilts or pelvic tucks and releases. Tucking the pelvis, meaning drawing the belly button in towards the spine, squeezing the lower belly muscles while lengthening the lower back. And on the pelvic release, we release the belly muscles, the belly button draws away from the spine, and there's a small arch in the lower back. So going through those pelvic tucks and releases, remembering that we want the hips to stay right underneath the ribs for this movement. So just tilting forward and back, without actually projecting your hips forward or back of the rib cage. So we'll do a couple more of these. And then finding again your neutral pelvis, the hips stacked underneath the ribs. And from here, we're gonna work on our slides, our hip slides, forward and back. So now this time we try to maintain the same angle of the pelvis as we project it forward and back without the tilting motion that we just did in the pelvic tucks and releases. So just a horizontal slide forward and back. So I have full videos on both of these movements, pelvic tilts and pelvic and hip slides, and I will link those in the description below so that you can practice these two movements if you're not comfortable with them just yet. Now, if you're good to go, we're gonna put these movements together and create a reverse undulation with them. So I've done a video also breaking down the regular pelvic undulations, which is an inward motion rolling in through the belly and articulating through the spine. And today we're going to reverse that motion and we're going to roll it outwards. So we start from neutral, we go into that pelvic tuck, drawing the belly button in towards the spine, tailbone down, length through the lower back. Now from here, we try to maintain this tucked position as we slide the hips forward. So don't let the belly release here. Keep everything tucked in as you slide slightly forward. It's going to be a small movement. From here, now release. So your hips are projected slightly in front of the rib cage. Here we release the belly and there's that small arch through the lower back, and maintaining the release, we slide the hips back, all the way back behind the rib cage, and from here is where we're going to begin the tuck again. So we're tucking, keep the hips back, tuck, tuck, tuck. Now slide forward, release, maintain that release, and slide it back. So tuck, maintain the tuck as you slide forward, release, maintain the release as you slide back. Tuck, forward, release, back. Tuck, forward, release, back, and then start to smooth it out. So imagine that you're kind of using your belly button to draw a circle rolling out from in to out. From in to out. You can also think about it as an up and over movement. Some dancers will cue this as the rolling over the barrel, over the barrel. We'll do a couple more here. And what we're doing as we're tucking is we're engaging into the lowest part of the belly, going more a little bit higher up and then a little bit higher up into the belly button and rolling forward, releasing and coming back. So tucking lowest to the middle, to the upper lower belly, and then coming forward, releasing and coming back. So this is the reverse pelvic undulation, and I'm trying to keep my upper body still as much as possible and just isolate it so that it's a pelvic movement. I'm using my knees a little bit as well. I'll do another video about engaging the legs in these pelvic tucks and releases movements. But for now, don't worry too much about the legs. Just try to get this motion of rolling through the pelvis in an outward direction. So we're trying to keep the movement isolated to just the pelvis. There's also variations where we can roll up into the chest. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that sometime soon, but for now, just try to keep the movement isolated to the pelvis. And if you have the regular undulation down, maybe start to play around with reversing back and forth. So I'm going into undulation, rolling inward, and then I'm going to pause here in the release and then roll back into the tuck and come forward into the reverse undulation. So let's do 4 of each and then reverse. So from the release forward, I'm going to reverse and come back. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and reverse and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to the regular undulation. 2, 3, 4 and reverse. 2, 3, 4 and back to regular. 2, 3, 4 and reverse. 2, 3 and 4 and relax, shake everything out, give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. So that is it for today's video. If you got something out of it, be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe. If you know someone that could benefit from this video, make sure to share it with them. And if you'd like to learn belly dance from me with real-time feedback and support, I teach live online classes on Zoom every single week. You can head on over to SharqiDance.com, link in the description below to see all the classes that I have to offer. And with all that being said, I will see you next time. Happy dancing. Bye.